Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Ramatu had a story.
Okay, so I have the story of the general mother nabbed in Kano. They said they arrested one Hashiru Baku. Said he's the mastermind behind the murder of the late Brigadier General Harold Udokwere. Said Udokwere, when he was alive, he was the national chairman of the retired members of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Said he was murdered on the 22nd of June in his residence, and they took away his gun. And the people who were arrested alongside the Hashiru, Ibrahim, Rabi'u, Nafi'u, Jamil, Ali, Abdullahi, and Muhammad Nuhu in connection with the crime. He also said that the suspect was an escapee from the Kuje Correctional Center. Excuse me.
Okay.
They said at the general's place, what they recovered was the wristwatch. That's the Hashiru that they arrested. They discovered the general's wristwatch and the general's wife's jewelry, which they stole from his house.
Okay.
Said they arrested him while he was trying to flee, was trying to exit the country at the Kano border.
Yeah.
That was where they now arrested him.
Okay. Very quickly, Daily Sun. Reps wade into Dangote NMDPRA's feud. Security forces warn sit-at-home promoters. APC calls Obaseki's impeachment for Nigeria will burn comment. An NPA rakes in 541 billion naira revenue, remits 255 billion in its first quarter. Okay.
Yeah, so I took a story inside. The wife of Edo State's governor, Mrs. Betsy Obaseki, has said that the state government will not tolerate baby factories and human trafficking in the state. Ms. Obaseki was the one who made the declaration while parading one of the suspected operators alongside 5 of her victims before journalists in Benin City. So she said that her attention was drawn to the illegal operation at Ikpoba Hills, that's Ikpoba Hill area of the state, and she immediately swung into action, leading to the arrest of the suspect and was able to rescue the victims. So she also added that it's against the law to keep pregnant young girls at home, and after delivery, their babies will now be sold off. And that the full wrath of the law must fall on all the people who are, involved in this. The woman, they said, has been operating illegally for 2 years now. And they said that the state government had made it easy for people who want to adopt children to be able to do that. So they are not going to welcome any idea of cutting corners. So while she was speaking with journalists during the parade, they found the suspect, Mrs. Jennifer Osage, who was 48, and that one denied running a baby factory, said she had studied nursing but was not able to graduate, so she dropped out of school. But one of the one of the victims, the girls, I think age 17, now said that she was pregnant all the way in Imo State. So I think somebody raped her and she got pregnant, and out of shame, her auntie sent her to Benin City to stay with this woman. By the time she got there, she met 4 other young girls in that home where they were all pregnant, yes, waiting to deliver, and so that their babies can be sold off.
Wow. Okay, so let me talk the major headlines. So the Deputy Speaker at the National Assembly was saying yesterday that they have to wade into the issue concerning Dangote and NMDPR, considering the allegations Dangote had made. If you recall, Dangote has talked about the issue of the fact that he had to import crude. Yeah. So they were saying that they noted that the alleged importation of adulterated petroleum products, resurgence of fuel queues at filling stations across the country, and difficulty by domestic refiners in accessing crude were issues of concern, and they have to see how they can wade into it. So their plan, obviously, is to have a conversation with both parties, that's Dangote and the government agencies involved, to see how this can be eventually resolved. But obviously, we can't continue like this because the Nigerians were totally waiting for Dangote refinery to start working. And now it's one issue or the other. Crude one issue, then there are issues of the mafia trying to manipulate and sabotage his efforts.
Yeah, the crude they're manufacturing here, they are preferring to sell to other countries.
So there's
other countries before.
It's in the papers that he came out and said he wants to sell his refinery to
They are frustrating him.
Or he's just buying...
No, it's not. They are frustrating. Yeah. No, it's not about sentiment. This is business. So
it's just balance. We cannot all be on the same page now.
See, this is our own.
His sentiments.
This is our own. This is our Nigerian-owned company.
Yes.
Please.
On behalf of
sentiment on this one.
Let's support him.
Support him.
I have the story of the MP.
Who will you leave? I don't tire. All these things. I'm a patient, but sometimes you can't go left, you can't go right, you can't go me, and they're all just everywhere. And
we'll work it out now. Maybe that's why this show is here.
My father has been working this out for many years. My father died. He's 6 feet under.
All right, I cannot give up. I'm still here.
The guy, the Dangote has white hair
6 feet under. Please, not today.
Yes,
go ahead,
I have the story of the NPA rakes in 541 billion. They said the outgoing managing director of the Nigerian Ports Authority, Mr. Mohammed Bello, disclosed that the agency generated 541 billion in the first half of 2024. They said the agency equally remitted 255 billion to the Consolidated Revenue Fund within the first 6 months. Coco made this remark while handing over to the new NPA, said that the performance of the agency in the first half of 2024 surpassed its year-on-year total revenue generation remittance. According to him, he said the accumulative revenue of the NPA between 2022 and the first half of 2024 was 1.423 trillion. He also disclosed that he's handing over a new staff clinic and 5 other completed projects to his successor for commissioning. And then he said his administration put in place sustainable reforms, especially drastic improvements in the turnaround times of vessels and trucks in Apapa and Tinkan ports.
Okay.
Let's see how that's...
Vanguard. Electricity, why systems collapse won't end soon, says investigation. In fact, I hardly find front page stories again. Do you have any stories inside?
Yes, I took a story inside. So the Commissioner of Police, FCT, Mr. Bennett Igwe, has paraded the alleged mastermind of the armed robbery gang that killed Brigadier General Uwem Udokwere, retired, in Abuja. That happened in June. So he said the police also appealed to residents of Abuja not to join the proposed protest against economic hardship so that they do not destroy all the infrastructure that have been put in place by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, on the arrest of the mastermind, they said that last time they were able to show 4 kidnappers related to the case of killing the Brigadier General Udokwere, but now they were able to now get the main person, that's the organizer of the killing, and they were able to recover the general's gun that was with him. They recovered wristwatch of the general's wife, jewelry, everything that was robbed from the general's house. And they said that they had arrested him before, but then he was released during the jailbreak that happened at some point. And instead of him to repent, he had more audacity to continue. And, the day that they attacked the general's house, he said he had rented a hotel in the general's estate. It was from the hotel that he was now coordinating the kidnapping that happened. And by the time they went to his residence, they were able to recover drugs, that they were taken to be high to be able to carry out the armed robbery that happened. And so many other things that they found.
Okay, so Punch went on investigative journalism and tried to give us some more bad news concerning our power sector. So in Lagos yesterday, according to Punch, not Punch, Vanguard actually, my sister apologies. According to Vanguard investigative journalist Udeme Akpan, the energy editor, he went to do some findings and he found that there are 10 deep-seated problems facing the power sector and the inability of our government and the stakeholders to find lasting solutions to them. These 10, let me just read it in a nutshell. It says inadequate gas supply, improper coordination of plants and gas pipelines, lack of operating spinning reserve and voltage support scheme, lack of reliable supervisory control, that's this data acquisition, SCADA vandalism, tripping of critical infrastructure lines, lack of reliable communication facility, lack of so many others. Anyway, the point is, even if, according to him, SCADA is a system used for controlling, monitoring, analyzing, and stabilizing, even somehow we're able to get this done, it's still going to take months for them to negotiate and then before they ship those infrastructure in, before they implement. So whether we like it or not, continuous power shutdown of the collapse of our electricity system is inevitable and is imminent at all times. So we're going to have to face that for a while until they bring in the infrastructure to fix it. But that might take a while, according to this editor. Okay, moving on.
Supposed to have cement to that. No, I have a story in Tribune.
Final story for today, or final paper for today is the Nigerian Tribune. Don't undermine federalism, political parties, others warn. Enugu security forces issue stern warning to sit-at-home promoters. Land use charge crisis between Oyo government TCN affecting our members, says man. FG moves to resolve crude supply dispute with Dangote refinery. There will be national crisis if APC does not allow free, fair poll in Edo. Obaseki threatens. Okay, which story?
I'm taking a story about the Land Use Act, Land Use Charge Crisis. So the Oyo State government has already sent a message to they sealed the Ibadan electric distribution company, and they sealed it because they had not paid land use charge. In sealing it, the IBEDC sent a message to all their customers within a particular area that they will not be able to supply power. So the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, based in Oyo, said that their members are complaining because they are having to run their generating sets for days, that the government should please have a conversation with Ibadan Distribution Company and get into a solution that would provide ease for the manufacturers within Ibadan. A large community is being affected. I don't even want to go into listing them, but it's a large community being affected by the power outage. And the Ibadan distribution company has closed shop that since you want us to pay land, you sealed our office, we will not work. And that means we will not supply power. So putting pressure on the government to find a solution. I think that I know the government is doing their own too, based on the fact that Ibadan Disco cut them off. So it was a retaliation, if you remember. Ibadan this distribution company cut them off. They sealed the office. Nigerians are suffering. So please, Oyo State Governor, in between all of this, let's find a peaceful resolution that would help the citizens of your states. Thank you. You're just tired.
Everywhere.
Are we done?
Yes, we are done.
That's all we can take. We do this for 11 years. And you're like, same story. And you're thinking, okay, are we really moving forward? Sometimes this power issue, sabotage, internal sabotage, Nigerians, we the people, frustrating our efforts. I just think, sometimes I just get tired. That's all we can take on Front Page Review today. When we come back, we want our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.